Let's talk about Tesla Model 3 Highland. Now, we covered Tesla Model 3 Highland at IAA Mobility, but we decided to do a separate video to get into it a bit more in depth. Now, what is Tesla Model 3 Highland? Well, it's really an efficiency upgrade and a restyle of the outgoing Tesla Model 3. Now, Tesla has said that they changed 50% of the parts on Tesla Model 3 Highland versus the outgoing Tesla Model 3. And there were three goals for that: to improve styling, luxury, as well as efficiency. Now, the actual variants of Tesla Model 3 will remain the same. So there will be the standard variant as well as the long range and performance variants. In terms of the underpinnings, the battery remains the same. So the standard variant will retain its 57.5 kilowatt hour battery, while the long range and performance variants retain their 75 kilowatt hour batteries. Now, there are range improvements in all variants of Tesla Model 3. So the standard range rear-wheel drive will see an increase of 333 miles of range to 346 miles of range. The long range and performance variants will see an increase of 388 miles of range to 423 miles of range, which is quite impressive. Now, in terms of handling, Tesla has made some improvements to the springs and the dampers in Tesla Model 3 Highland for improved ride quality. Also, in terms of efficiency, Tesla has upgraded the tire and wheel package for improved rolling resistance. So we're here today at IAA Mobility Day 4, and we have the refreshed Tesla Model 3. Now, what is the big difference? You're looking right at it, and that is this front end. And so it has a very different treatment from the original style. And so you can see it's much more sleek in the front. You've got sort of these very sort of narrow, squinty-eyed type of headlights with the light bar right here. It really looks like Tesla's Model 3 has actually grown up a bit. Much more edgy, much more of a refined look. I can see this car really appealing to a broader set of buyers because it has a much more sort of refined look to it. And it's much sharper as well. And so what you can see here is that it does away with sort of the kind of fish kind of mouth look right here for more of a sort of understated look. You could sort of think maybe kind of a Aston Martin sort of look right here. Very sort of nice treatment by Tesla. Now, if we look around here, not much has changed with the side. And so we can see that the car more or less maintains the same sort of profile. There are some slight aero upgrades with it. And so again, that's designed to really maximize the efficiency of Model 3. So coming around to the back, not much has changed with the Model 3. So it's still got the high deck lid treatment right here. The taillights are the same. However, when you lift it, this is a single sort of light array versus sort of the light array previously existing in the original Model 3. So the restyle gets a bit of a different treatment with the lights. And so, yeah, nice little sort of refined look for the Tesla Model 3 in the rear, but not much has changed. Now, according to Tesla, there are some slight upgrades to the aero off of the rear of the car just to improve efficiency. The changes are really not that sort of noticeable, but once again, sort of getting that drag coefficient down from 0.23 to 0.21. It's really accomplished through the tire and wheel upgrade package, as well as the treatment to the sort of rear end bumper to push wind off the car for more aerodynamic efficiency. Now let's get to the interior. So Tesla has made some acoustic improvements to Tesla Model 3, and this is through improved insulation, as well as using acoustic glass all the way around Tesla Model 3 Highland. And this is really intended to reduce noise levels. Now, in terms of the interior, the seats have been improved with more sort of cushioning and bolstering, and the seats felt quite comfortable, and the seating position felt quite high, so maybe a little bit sort of cramped for taller passengers, but it felt quite good. So inside the Model 3, there are some slight upgrades to the seats. So there is sort of the perforated leather for ventilation here. They're a much more sort of upmarket, high quality feel versus the first sort of styling generation of the Model 3. Another key upgrade to the interior of Tesla Model 3 Highland is the addition of an 8-inch infotainment display in the rear passenger compartment of the vehicle. Now, this infotainment display allows passengers to control the climate control the audio system, access apps, as well as watch video. There's also two USB-C ports back here, and you've got some storage also. So yeah, very nice sort of treatment. And once again, you've got the nice panoramic roof, nice airy feel in the Tesla Model 3. Very comfortable for rear passengers. Fairly good underleg support right here also, but the footwell is a bit sort of shallow, so you're not going to be able to sort of rest your feet under the seat that comfortably, especially if you have shoes or sort of taller shoes like boots on, for example. But overall, very nice right here. So here, you've got now this LED light bar on the front console, and also this kind of fabric material. It feels like some sort of sustainable material right here. So these are sort of some changes that you see from this Model 3 versus the previous Model 3. The display gets an upgrade as well. The size remains the same at 50.3 inches diagonal, but the bezels have been slimmed down to make the screen appear larger. The screen is also brighter as well, but the hardware that drives the screen is actually the same. Now, one of the other key upgrades is to the stereo system. So the Tesla Model 3 Highland now gets a 17-speaker stereo audio system versus the outgoing Tesla Model 3's 14-speaker system. Now, one of the other key upgrades is to the USB-C charging ports. All of this USB-C charging ports in Tesla Model 3 Highland have 65 watts of output. And that's pretty significant because that's enough output to charge a laptop. One of the key differences, though, is that the Tesla Model 3 Highland does lose a USB-C port in the center console for charging, but that's made up for with the Qi wireless charging system in the front of the center console. So where a USB-C port is lost, there is really gain in terms of the power output with 65 watts, which is really welcome. And then the driver or the passenger can charge their device, their smartphone, using Qi wireless charging. The steering wheel loses its stalks, and so Tesla is relying on the steering wheel controls as well as haptic feedback to really signal commands and controls to the driver. So overall, these are really upgrades that are meant sort of collectively to deliver a sort of overall improved driving experience as well as passenger experience, and more refinements into the Tesla Model 3 overall. And why is that? Well, the EV market landscape is becoming more sort of competitive. And so if you can think of sort of a direct competitor to Tesla Model 3 Highland, that would be the BMW i4. Tesla Model 3 is a relatively mature product compared to the i4, so this is a good time for Tesla to begin making these refinements and upgrades. Also, there are some new entrants on the market as well, and that would be the BYD Seal that was recently announced, sports sedan, and so that's considered a direct competitor to Tesla Model 3. So this is really an opportunity for Tesla to make those refinements. Also, Tesla's had an opportunity to learn a lot about Tesla Model 3 from sort of the ownership experience and really sort of taking that feedback and reflecting it in Tesla Model 3 Highland. So overall, I think that these are some very welcome upgrades that will be received quite well. Tesla Model 3 really sort of has more of a mature appearance and more mature sort of feel, which I think will appeal to a lot of buyers. So let me know what you think, or let me know if you have any questions about Tesla Model 3 Highland. Also, don't forget to check out our other videos covering IAA mobility. And that's all we have for the Tesla Model 3 in terms of our walk around. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one soon. Thanks.